Good morning, everybody. I hope my voice is audible and a screen is present in front of you with a creator. If you could please confirm that. Okay, great. So we are live on YouTube as well. So if anyone wants to watch there, we can definitely do that. But we'll start here sharp at 10, like in a minute. Okay, I think we are already at the time. Let me start the recording. Okay, great. Just a last confirmation before we get started, guys. Everything okay? Good to go? Yes? Great. So, good morning, everybody, and a very happy Saturday, and welcome back to yet another speaker session brought to you by Accredian, where we bring you the industry leaders for some amazing insights. So, today's session, as all of you might already know, is about your gateway to data analytics. And we have a very special guest with us for today for that. She's a seasoned corporate trainer and a consultant, and she's recognized for delivering impactful trainings to professionals across the world in the field of data science and business intelligence. So please welcome Ms. Poonam Jaswani, who is the guest speaker for today. And also, before we officially hand over the session to her, one request to each and every one of you. This is a reminder that if you have any questions, just post it in the Q&A section, right? We will be taking up the questions after the session ends, right? Towards the end of the session. And one thing more, it should go without saying that please be respectful, please be kind in the chat, right? So without further ado, please welcome Ms. Poonam Jaswani. Over to you, Poonam.
Good morning, everyone.
Hi, good morning.
So I hope all of you are doing well. So before we start, I'll just quickly share my screen. I hope my screen is visible to all of you.
Yes, it's visible.
So, hello, everyone. This is Poonam Jaswani. Today, I'll be the speaker for this session. And so just quickly introducing myself. So, I've been working for a decade now and exclusively in data science domain and data analytics domain. I've been working for 7 years now. So, I've been working as a corporate trainer and a consultant. On my screen, you can see my specialized skills for which I've been imparting trainings to various clients. Apart from that, I have been working for a list of consultants that I have served. I have been serving these clients like Michelin Mobilium as a consultant. So I have successfully delivered a lot of, trainings. Today, my session would be about data analytics. We'll be talking about what is data analytics in detail. So before I start, I'll just quickly take you through the walkthrough of what is data analytics and all. So just bear with me for a moment. All right. So as per my information, the audience that I have is mostly inclined towards data science and data analytics. lies under the umbrella of data science, right? So before we start, I'll just quickly share you what are we going to learn today. So we'll see what is data analytics, what is the role of a data analyst, wherein we'll discuss in detail how has data analytics evolved, right? Then we'll be talking about in detail how do we perform data analytics with the data that we have in hand, with the tools that are available in the market. How do we prepare the data? How do we get insightful decisions being made, informed decisions being made? And then we'll also talk about what are the career options that are available with with data analytics profile as a data analyst. So all of you, as you are interested in data science or data analytics, would today understand a lot of terms in and around data analytics, data, what is analytics, what is analysis. So let's clear the fuss in the air about these terms and try to focus on what exactly is data analytics, what are we doing with data analytics, right? So to start with, what is data analytics? I'll just share my note with you all. So let's understand this term data, which is leading us to insights, right? Now, we have been doing data collection for every small thing, doing since ages. Like, for example, when we go to buy an iPhone or a normal phone, a Samsung or any other brand that we are looking for in the market, when we have the need of a phone, that's when we do a lot of analysis in our mind that how much data it has, what is the camera, what is the pixel efficiency of the camera, how's the front camera, how's the back camera, what all files can be stored, what all work can be done, how it can be utilized for my personal and professional life both, right? So we do a lot of analysis by default in our mind without even putting a thought on it. We are in the back end, our minds are doing some kind of analysis in the brain, right? So we do this analysis, we collect data, we understand what are the products available in the market, we do this analysis to understand, and then finally we decide on to something, right? Now, for instance, if a particular person is working with a machine for a long time in a manufacturing department, that's when this person is, even with the voice of that particular machine, with the experience that he has or she has, can, decide on what is going to happen, wherein this machine needs to be shutted down, or wherein this machine needs a repair or a refresh scheduled, or there how much downtime is there. So all this can be done with the help of experience. Now, when I'm talking about experience, I'm talking about the past data, past records, right? So this person being experienced with this machine will have some kind of past experience with this data, right? Now, when they have, the working of how this machine works, what happens when it generates such a noise, so he or she can take particular decision for a particular machine. But for for a decision to be made in a big company, every decision in a big company will has to be backed, actually will cost you money and time both. If a server is shut down for a time, the resources that would get affected, the time that would get affected will will actually make a effect on the cost of the company, right? So now with time, we have to minimize the loss, right? We have to minimize the loss. So all these decisions cannot be taken by a single person, right? Now these decisions need to be backed by the data, right? To minimize the loss. Everything needs to be backed by data and information. Every single step causes time and money. So, conscious decision making is very important. Not just the small scale companies, even when I talk about these big shots. When Nokia was there in the market, it has had the major share in the market. All of us knew that, right? But when iPhone came, Nokia, there are, case studies for it. Nokia refused to understand the customer behavior, right? They just refused the panelists, the people that were there who had to take those decisions, just refused. There were articles for this, but if you do such things, you are not backing your decisions, especially in today's world when the market is so vulnerable. Even giants have a downfall. So it's becoming necessary to pay attention and to understand what data is talking about. Data is coming actually from everywhere. In earlier days, we didn't have enough tools. We never had enough tools to connect the data, right? When we were talking about data earlier, the data storage were in form of just excels probably, right? Or there were small files, but now collection of these files, you cannot be limited to excels, right? Now this excel sheet is limited. The size of the excel sheet is limited. A table would be limited to 10 lakh 48,000 rows. But when we talk about data being stored, we have tools available in the market nowadays. We are very equipped with a lot of tools that are available in the market to store this data, right? When we are talking about the storage, we have database management systems wherein we have data, a querying language to talk to it. Yes. So we have a lot of tools that are available to backup for the backup. Now, even if we have that data available, how can we make sense out of that data? Yes. Is the purpose of the session clear to all of you? So that is what we are going to understand today. How are we going to back our decisions? How data analytics help us make informed decisions, insightful decisions, and estimate what is required. Yes? Yes, all of you? Can I have a yes or a no? Great. Right. So now that we have entered, so whatever questions that come to your mind, we'll be taking them up towards the end of the session. But just for, so that it's not a boring session, a one-way session, I would like some of you to keep interacting while you come across, say, if anything that doesn't clicks you, you can just ask questions. And as and when time allows, I will address to that query. But if that is a query that needs to be answered toward the end of the session, we'll take that up later. All right. Okay. Now, all of you, do you know which industrial revolution are we in? Yes. Yes, most of you know it. So we are moving towards the fifth now. We are already in the digital era and we are moving towards AI. So in early 2000s, we were in the fourth industrial revolution, and now eventually we are moving towards AI. Most of the work is done virtually. We are connected to machines, we are connected to internet. All the machines that we have are connected to internet. We are just sitting on our computers. If possible, we are taking hold of those sensors, understanding, and we can shut down a machine from a computer sitting right in our comfort zone, right? Now this kind of industrial revolution we have entered, wherein it's about human robot collaboration. There is there are mechanisms which are in place, which are in control of you. The entire manufacturing is in control of you. Say if you are controlling a manufacturing plant at your leisure, sitting at your place, you can just use the tablets, phones, computers. The sensors can be placed to identify how many workers are working, right? If there is some problem with any worker or some issue, so there are sensors to recognize the danger zones, right? So just sitting, so if the temperature of a machine increases, there is a threshold being set, there is an alert, there is an alarm being sent to you. Decision making becomes easier by these criterias being defined. Now how do we define these criteria? How do we align these sensors? How do we make it safe? So, still, when it comes to decision making, human intervention is required. AI is getting confused with human intervention because if you know about driverless cars already, so uh, these are still very prone to accidents, right? So, decision making is more or less still a human task. What we are talking about right now is about what the past data, and how to predict and prescribe the right solutions, right? Now, when we talk about benefits of data analytics, we talk about cost reduction, we talk about improved efficiency, we also talk about good resource utilization, whether there is something which is going to happen or not, depending on what your past data is talking about, right? Okay, so just for your confirmation, uh I just want to check if the slide is visible to all of you. Okay, so I'll keep switching the view from the slide to my note, because I usually prefer writing sometimes while I'm explaining. Okay, so yes. So when we are talking about analytics, we often come across this term analysis also, right? Right. So analysis is something that you will find in the dictionary. You will see what is analysis, you will be able to understand that. But when it talks about analytics, analytics is not a term that you can find in any dictionary, but analysis is something that you'll find. Analytics has become such a big term in last 20 years, and analysis is a very generic term. Analysis is when we are having questions, when we want to look into your data, slice and dice, explore. So exploring our past data is your analysis, right? Now, when we're talking about analytics, that is when we are dealing with certain tools that are available in the market. Now, analytics is a combination of efficient tools, then we talk about mathematics, then we talk about algorithms. Now, with these three, we can result into amazing things. When you are able to use the advanced techniques, you are able to come up with patterns which are otherwise not possible to trace or come up with, or not very evident. Likewise, in the retail market, if we talk about, uh, in the retail store there are gondolas that have specific products being placed, so that the customer is more in for which the customer could be more inclined. If he is doing such shopping, he might be inclined towards something else. So there is a proper arrangement in these retail stores. How it is done? So sometimes, have you heard about, even if even if you apply your normal decision making, it might not give you exploratory insights. But when you slice your dice your data with these three things, that's when you are able to read something which is not very evident otherwise. Like if I talk about beer and diaper case studies, have you heard about this beer and diaper case study? Yes, have you heard about this case study? Anyone can think of, so I can see one or two heard. So anyone can think of what could be a relation between beer and a diaper. Diaper is something that's being used by newborns, whereas beer is something being used by adults. What could be the relation between two? Is there any relation that you can think of? Yes, Ruhi has an answer that when father is doing babysitting on weekends. Yes, of course. So what happens in this case study? What was discovered that newborn fathers, like fathers of newborns, actually are more inclined towards buying a beer with a diaper, with a pack of diapers. So if they find it in the same gandola, they might end up buying a pack of beer as well. So which actually takes a turn in the revenue, which adds, the purchase. Now, like Netflix, they are using this smart algorithms. They grow with analytic approaches. All these analytical approaches, the recommendation engine, how they all are working? They are working with the help of data analytics, right? So how do they work? They see what is the kind of content you are viewing, right? They see what do you view usually, and then they sense you know the the type of content that you're viewing, right? They also get to see. Yes, can you just suggest what all derives the analytics of Netflix? choices by the user, right? What else? Login, viewing, demographics, yes. Pause time, yes. Language, genre based, that's absolutely correct. Now, all this, just imagine the data. It's not linear, it's not something that's easily relatable. It's just, so much non-linear data that that is inclined with algorithms. Now, how these algorithms work? They work with the machine learning, where there is supervised and unsupervised learning, right? When we talk about supervised and unsupervised learning, what is it? So not just the calculations we talk about, not just the calculations we do, they also learn by the experience. Like we said, we talked about the experience, right? We were talking about the experience. So experience is basically when a machine is trying to imitate a human brain. So if I give a machine, so what is Chat GPT, right? So it is learning from the text that human has entered, right? And then it is giving the results, right? So Netflix ensures that accurate algorithms for predicting and the recommended content is given. They will access everything that's required, okay, for as per the user. Now, not just this, I would also like to talk about a few more things here. Just a minute. So every industry, data analytics is applicable. Had it been e-commerce, media, education, healthcare, right? Government organization, retail industry, then even Google uses analytics. How do they understand the techniques? So based on what you have searched, what are the sites that you are looking for, what should be the advertisement that should be shown to you, what is the content that you are downloading. So as per the user experience, if we show the user what they are looking for, it becomes, a trend that they are more inclined towards making a purchase or looking at that content, right? So like I told you about product and services we can offer, like for Amazon we say, frequently buyed products. You see that customers also buy section in the Amazon website, right? Then in traditional accounting methods earlier, it was it is actually important to understand how the problems were there in traditional accounting methods. There was a time when a lot of accounting were happening in form of notebooks and in form of Excel sheets, which was not fully solving the problems. So that's when managing the cash flow, small scale or medium businesses or startups was not very efficiently managed, accurately managed. So that's when the analytics was introduced, wherein they can continuously monitor whether the tax has been paid or not. Everything is just in front of you as a part of visual also. So business intelligence, or you say visualization, is also a part of data analytics, wherein you analyze your data and show in front of the client what is your data talking about, right? Now whatever insightful graphs or visualization you present, sometimes it could be exploratory, or sometimes it could be just informatory. So depending on what you are presenting in front of your client, they can make decisions, right? Now let's just quickly talk about types of data analytics, because we have very small span of time. So I just want you to understand the basic terms. So when we are talking about analytics, data analytics, there are four types of analytics that come into picture. One is what has happened. What has happened so far. So that is your descriptive analytics. So descriptive analytics talk about what has happened in the past. What say what is the revenue that has been in the previous quarter, while describing what has happened to a particular product line that is not giving you efficient results, right? So descriptive analytics is talking about the questions that you have, and it is answering. So let's quote it in a very simple language. So if you know a person, right, you tend, if you know a person's behavior, you tend to know what a person is going to react in a particular situation. Similarly, if you have the record of what has happened, so if there is a sudden change, or there is a drastic change, what could have happened can be analyzed with the help of descriptive analytics. Now, descriptive analytics deals with numbers, okay? It deals with central tendencies, it deals with variances. When and what is a measure, right? What is a measure? So basically, measure, so in the world of data, we often categorize data into categorical and continuous, right? So there is quantitative data and there is qualitative data. So something that's categorical is referred discrete or qualitative. That can be broken into parts where they can define the nature, right? Like gender or like category, right? Wherein, when you are talking about a numeric field, a continuous field, whether it has to be a continuity of a date or something, that's when we are talking about the measure, the continuous thing. Now, why you have these numbers behaving in a certain manner? How do you study this measure? You study this measure with your frequency, right? Or probably you can talk about tendencies. Now, what are tendencies? Tendencies, we can have, uh, you know, mean median mode. Yes, all of you are aware of this term, mean median mode. So, looking at the the quantitative measures that we have in our data, we can define on the tendencies. We can also define the behavior with the help of variance. Now, what is variance? Variance is basically how your data points are, away from the mean. What is, whether they are closely related, or whether they are, they are dispersed in nature. So if I have data points like this, I hope it is visible. Yeah, the screen is stuck. Just a moment. Now, can you see my screen? Thank you. So if you have mean lying somewhere here, and whereas if in this kind of scenario, right? If your mean is, say, for both of them. One for one mean is lying here and the other is lying here. So basically, this is the distance. Variance is the distance wherein it is telling you how much is the magnitude of the spread. Okay, it's talking about the variance. So the distance that is this from the points, right here, would be obviously more than this, even if the main mean is same for all the data points. Yes or no? So, behavior can be understood with these central tendencies, with measures, with the frequency of how the data is, behaving, right? Because one extreme value in data could could be leading misleading, right? It could be whether we should go with median or mean. So, what we are trying to study in the spread of data is basically we are trying to study the range, the minimum and the maximum, the distance, the variance, right? Distance from the mean, or say deviation, how it is standard deviation, which is the root mean square, right? So all of this is studied in descriptive analytics, wherein we describe about how the data is spread in terms of percentiles, where are most of the data points lying, and then we also discuss about what could have what has happened. Say there is an extreme low dip or extreme high point, sudden shoot up. That's when you notice these points when you slice and dice or explore your data, right? So when you're exploring your data, you come across a lot of things. Now all these things can be done with the various tools that are available in the market. Say for instance, we have Power BI, Tableau, SQL, Excel. So these all tools are helping us. We'll talk about this in another 5-10 minutes, that how these tools are helping us. But basically, when we are slicing and dicing, grouping, and trying to understand the correlation between each, so all of this is describing what has happened so far. Now, in diagnostic analytics, once we reach to the roadblock, once we reach to that change, that there is a change, there is a drastic change or something, that's when we talk about diagnostic analysis to understand why this could have happened. Why did this happen? So we basically do a root cause analysis. We drill down further to understand what could have been the cause of that roadblock or that change. In this particular technique, when we're talking about diagnostic analysis, we are talking about probably hypothesis testing. We can also do machine learning here, right? So, factors that are impacting the interrelation of different variables, we can study that. Factors affecting, we can learn that. Now, understand what is hypothesis testing. So, this is a step. First, we have understood what has happened with the data. We have tools about for all these steps that we are talking about, but just to understand the flow of data analytics, I am explaining you what are the steps involved in data analytics. Then we talk about diagnostic to understand the root cause of that particular discovery, that data discovery that we made, or say what our past data is talking about. So when we do hypothesis testing, we also we actually claim that something that is not easily proved, or say in hypothesis testing we try to have an acceptable claim, a claim that is universally accepted. We try to disprove that claim, that science can provide the evidence of something that is not true, rather than disproving something that is true. So, for instance, if I say I'm trying to prove Earth is flat, okay, or then the alternate hypothesis of this could be Earth is not flat. So there are always possibility. Saying that this is always true, this statement is always true, it's difficult to prove that, because when we say this thing is always true, that is when what happens is we have n number of factors impacting it, right? There are n number of factors that are impacting it. We cannot state that very easily, so we go for the alternate. We say apart from this statement everything else can be true. Say if we say Earth is flat, a statement, then the alternate would be it is any shape but not flat. Or in a manufacturing industry, three assembly lines are there and all three are working the same way, should be your null hypothesis, whereas the alternate would be your, what would be the alternate? That one is working better than the other. So in hypothesis testing, we try to disprove a fact that is universally acceptable. And then here, basically, once we do that, we try to understand what are the external factors. Then it could be supervised learning in machine learning or unsupervised learning, right? Wherein you discover a lot of factors that are affecting that particular change, right? Am I making sense to all of you? Yes or a no? Great. Then we come to this particular predictive analytics. Whenever we talk about predictive analytics, it will say, it will predict, okay? It will talk about what will happen. First, we'll understand what happened. Then, why did this happen? We did certain things to understand why did this happen. Then, what are the factors that are affecting it? We understood and why did this happen. Then we kind of estimate, okay? So when we are trying to estimate, when we are trying to predict, don't confuse this term predicting with future. It is not predicting the future, it is estimating the unknown, okay? When I'm saying it is estimating the unknown, that is when we are doing a calculation with which is performed with the help of deterministic calculations or stochastic calculations. So basically, when we are talking about, just a moment, spelling error here. So when we are talking about this calculation, deterministic is something that we do. Subtract normally. MRP is cost price. MRP minus cost price would lead you to the profit, right? This type of calculation are deterministic. Sco- Stochastic calculation, if you are, if say if you are, if you are the data analyst in a firm and you go and talk to a person and say that, what should be, say I'm telling my CEO that the revenue for next year is going to be 5 million, right? So will he agree to that? Yes or no? No. What will he ask? I have an experience in data analytics. I must have performed something, right? But to back my decision, I need to give him a percentage, right? We cannot just say that this predicted value is the estimated value, right, for the next year. We can only give a probability that there. So the first question that he'll ask to me is, what is the probability of it? Yes or no? So if we give something with the probability, is something that we are trying to calculate with these stochastic calculations. So whenever you are doing predictive analytics, it is estimating the unknown. The unknown could be in present or it could be in future. Whenever we discussing about something, say we have some data and we're talking about what can be predicted looking at the current data in the given scenario, and we don't have that question in the current data, that is estimating in the present. But if you're talking about a time series kind of a scenario wherein we are predicting in next year, next quarter, what is the revenue going to be, that kind of calculation or probability calculation would be my estimation of unknown in the future, right? Then once we have done the estimation of unknown, then we talk about prescriptive analytics, right? Now, this prescriptive analytics is what? It is it is basically, as as it the term suggests, it is something that is a solution, a prescription from the instead of forecasting, coming up with the forecasting values. You should understand which drivers are working well and which drivers can make the revenue or the resources work well. Hence you can reach your goals. That you can that kind of suggestions is basically that kind of suggestions would be referred as your prescriptive. So looking at the constraint, so we have constraint of time, we have constraints of budget, we have constraints of there are a lot of say resources. So looking at all the constraint, how to maximize and optimize your performance is what we do in prescriptive analytics. So I hope the cycle of data analytics is clear to all of you. Yes. Okay. So now let me just quickly talk about the tools that are available. Okay. So in the upcoming courses, you would be learning about, probably Python, right? R or MySQL, Excel, then Tableau, right? Now, these are the tools that are required to perform data analytics. Data analysis is a part of data analytics, and data analytics is a part of data science, right? So, when we talk about these tools, Python is becoming a very useful language in the market. When we talk about this language, we have a lot of libraries present. So coding is becoming really easier with Python. So if you know Python, you can build a lot of algorithms, you can build a lot of analysis can be done. You can build a lot of automated processes with the help of this language in data sciences. Similar with R. When you talk about MySQL, so these are the databases querying language. Okay. So when you have, like I told you, the data is stored in a lot of data warehouses, database management systems. So we require a querying language to talk to this database, to to fetch the required data, to do the analysis, to do the analytics. So that is when we have the need to learn such languages to query the database management systems, RDBMS, right? Then Excel is something that is now less used, but I would not say that it's not. There are a lot of companies who are still using it, so you should always know the power of Excel, which is a parent. I'll say Microsoft is a parent company for Power BI. So Power BI is another successful tool in the market, wherein it is slicing and dicing the data. A lot of work is done automatically on the go, whether I talk about the calculations, whether I talk about the right fields, merging multiple tables. Power BI and Tableau are two of the most popular tools available in the market, and they are used like by almost all the big industries now. And Tableau is beautifully building the visualization, the kind of flexibility it offers you with data. It performs analysis, analytics, data preparation. With the product suite of Tableau, you can do a lot of things with data. Then it gives you an end-to-end solution, starting from data preparation to data analytics. Data analytics, like all the algorithms, cannot be incorporated. All the machine learning processes cannot be incorporated, but most of the work can be done with these business intelligence tools. Apart from that, when we talk about these libraries that are present in tools like Python, these libraries are inbuilt. All these calculation, these the probabilities, and the stochastic calculations, and mean, median, covariance, all these are there already. These functions are inbuilt. All you need to learn the syntax and understanding of this language to get the process simplified for you, which I just explained, to describe, diagnose, predict, and prescribe, right? Yes, am I making sense to all of you? So there are a lot of job opportunities in the market available for for data analytics. So you can see there, these are the positions. With the tools, with the set of tools that I just mentioned, you can utilize the knowledge of these tools to fit into these positions that are available in the market. Yes. So as we have very less time to discuss, which is a very broader term, I'll say it's a very broad term when it comes to data analytics and data science. So I just want to keep it crisp for now. So I hope you got the flow of how data analytics work, and we'll be just talking about few question and answers coming from the audience, so as to understand if the session has been useful for all of you. You were able to you know utilize your time in the best possible manner.
Hi, Poonam. I think there are a few questions in the Q&A tab, if you can see that. And I think there are a few questions in the chat as well.
Yeah. So there is a question from Garima which says, which tool is most efficient at presenting data analysis, Tableau or Power BI? As of now, I'm using Tableau, but seems very slow with lake congestion. Garima, with my experience, Tableau has, a upper hand in terms of, slicing and dicing the data, the hyper engine and all that. But I will not say Power BI is any less, because it's also getting updated every month, and it is a Microsoft tool, so it's incorporating a lot of things that are available. So both are very competitive in nature, but the flexibility Tableau offers with terms of slicing and dicing the data, the product suite is so simplified there, that the understanding of Tableau becomes way more easier though everything can be done in Power BI, but it's a little complex, I feel, as per a layman to understand. So both tools are competitive, and personally, I prefer Tableau as compared to Power BI, because the efficiency it has as compared with that hyper engine and all that is next level. And the grouping and slicing that happens on the go, the kind of options it gives us with sets and all, is beautifully interactive, and at the same time you can create multiple visualizations. You can just think of it and you can explore your data the way you want. So, Abhilash, when we talk about data analytics, it's mostly about the structured data, because all these tools are more or less working on the structured data. So, when we are talking about the unstructured data, there are separate set of tools for it. There are separate set of machine learning algorithms. There is a very thin line, Ashwin, between machine learning and data analytics. So, machine learning is utilized in, data analytics when it comes to unsupervised learning and supervised learning. But basically, when you're talking about AI, deep learning, machine learning is used corely there for, estimating. So, Ruhi says, I have done data science course, data visualization. The industry is very demanding. Didn't get any opportunity. So Ruhi, as I listed, there are, like, I personally prefer LinkedIn a lot, because there are a lot of opportunities available in the market for data science as a beginner and for data visualization. If you master one tool also nicely, I'm sure you will land up in a good job, and from there you can start enhancing your skill set. I would not say that whatever you have worked earlier would get wasted. It is a cherry on top always, because data science and data visualization is almost used in every industry everywhere. So you can, you know reach out to us for it, and otherwise also you can, there are multiple hirings going on with this, with this profile. So another question is, mandatory tools for the career options. Yes, I can go through the tools. Once I answer the question, I will tell you. So basically, the tool set that I mentioned, Python, MySQL, Excel, R, and this your Power BI and Tableau. Either of them, not both of them, but either of them, depending on the firm. This product suite can be utilized, like all these tools. If you know, if you have a good knowledge of these tools, you can land up in these job opportunities. You can look for the job description. They will be either demanding for the expertise in any of these tools. So there could be a combination of SQL and Python. There could be a combination of Tableau and SQL for data analyst. So depending on the requirement of the business, say if it is a small scale business, there could be expected a lot of it. But if it is if it's a big company, that's when there are for data science there are separate sets of people working for data preparation, then data analysis. So um, each part or each process has a separate team, so you need to be specialized in a specific one or two tools. So that's how you need to look for the job description, and these tools, whatever you're going to learn in data science, will definitely help you reach to that career options. Yes, Joy, in Tableau you have predictions, but Power BI uh, doesn't support predictions. So forecasting values can be seen in Tableau. So Tableau does a little bit of analytics for you, but then again, they are the fixed methods, the fixed, the fixed functions that are applied. Whereas there are specific regressions, exponential and all that. But if you have to make it different, that's when you be using the other tools that are available for machine learning like Python and all, right?
Hi guys, I think we are already at the top of the hour. So that is all the questions I think Poonam would be able to take today. So let's just thank her for the session today. So thank you so much, Poonam, for such an insightful session. And I'm sure it actually helped a lot of folks today to gain some clarity. And I know there are a lot of people with some more questions as well. But yeah, we have a time constraint. So thank you so much for taking out the time for us on a Saturday. And it was a delight to have you.
Thank you all. Thank you for being such a nice audience. I would have loved to answer all the queries, but obviously you all also have commitments, so do I. So thank you for today's session and have a nice day ahead.
All right. Thank you. Guys, before moving on, please fill the feedback form that is present in the chat, right? It's really, really important